Welcome to Anime Out of Context, a comedy review show hosted by a basement dweller who grew up scrounging terrible fan subs on sketchy websites prior to the convenience of modern streaming, alongside a willfully ignorant soul whose only knowledge of anime comes from the shows forced upon him here. This show will contain spoilers, incorrect information, and copious amounts of adult language. Our hosts are not experts on any topic, and everything they say should be taken with a grain of salt. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And I judge you for all the time you spend looking up waifus on Reddit. I know how many hours that is a week. I judge you for it.
I'm Sean Rollins.
And I'm Remington Chase.
That one caught me off guard, Rem. That was very nice. I don't know if you're talking to me or if you're talking to the audience as a whole, but either way.
I speak to the Weeb Borg.
The Weeb Borg. Have you even seen Star Trek Next Gen?
Oh, you know I don't watch media, Sean.
Yeah.
So what are we doing this week? Let's jump into it. Let's explore.
Well, Remington, I don't know if you've noticed, but we've been doing this for quite a while.
Yeah, way too long. We celebrated our little anniversary episode a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's real crazy. I remember when I started and I was like, oh yeah, this'll keep him out of his depression for a little bit. And then he was like, anime, and I was like, shit, I can't say no. I'm trying to help a friend out. All right, of only a few months, and now here we are, fucking 3 years later.
Oh yeah, this thing will make sure he doesn't kill himself. Let's do this a bit longer.
Oh, God. Yeah, we've been doing it for a hot minute.
Yeah, you could say that. And, we actually just recently passed 150 episodes, if you can believe it.
Wait, Sean, is this episode going to be just you pretending like this is 150 episodes because you forgot what our actual 150th episode was, namely being last week, and you weren't prepared, so now you're just sort of trying to retcon it and hope no one notices?
Look, how heavy the dumbbells you lift is truly a monumental anime. It's a feat of strength and cleverness and trying to trick weebs in how to work out. But you gotta change things up every once in a while. You gotta do something a little bit different.
Who celebrates Hallmark's like 150 when you can celebrate 151, which is the number of Pokemon there are? Which if Sean was smart, he would throw in like this is where we do Pokemon or some shit to like sort of justify why he's celebrating 151 instead of 150. But I'm gonna guess that's not at all what happened.
Damn, that would have been so good. That would have been so good. Oh, no, why didn't I think of that?
Would have had a natural explanation. Would have seemed planned almost instead of put together. But nonetheless,
the night is still young. We could change the episode.
now that we have stripped away all artifice and all the facade of professionality, how are we celebrating hitting 151 episodes, Sean?
Well, Remington, anime has been around for a while.
Oh, fuck. Don't tell me we're doing an old one. The old ones are bad, Sean.
Well, it depends on your definition of old, Remington.
For anime, anything before the dark times of like 2012, 2013, probably bad. Anime got decent in 2015 forward.
Oof, that's a hot take.
Or at least better, not abominable.
Okay, see, no.
Everything before 2015, take it or leave it. Usually leave it.
Most of the Ghiblis were shot way before 2015 that we've seen.
I maintain. A joke I've made before, like, oh, blah, 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 old anime, this was before story was invented. And Ghibli largely maintains that.
Okay, well,
Ghibli,
I mean, that's
real interesting. Ghibli doesn't have good stories. They just don't. They don't know how plot works. I love them for their humanity and their settings, but not for their goddamn stories, which are a dumpster fire. But this isn't the Ghibli bashing episode, I think.
Yeah.
So what? So what is this episode?
Well, since we're an important question for you, Remington.
Yeah.
What do you think came out in the year 2002?
Oh God.
Like, let's see your media cultural. It doesn't have to be anime, but what do you remember from the year 2002?
Ah, yes. I was an old man by that point. Well, if I had to say 2002, which is almost 2 decades ago, I would say that things that came out in 2002 would include such things as Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers, Star Wars Episode 2.
Okay, now I know
Harry
you're looking
Potter
up a
and the
list
Chamber
because
of
you have
Satan.
not seen
What?
Star Wars.
Ice Age, Signs.
Oh God, Signs was 2002.
Was Men in Black 2. It was a year of sequels, is what I've learned about 2002. Many, many sequels.
Many, many bad sequels. But no, Remington, 2002 was a very interesting time for anime because...
You had Ben Affleck, who was people's sexiest man alive.
Really? I mean...
You had Michael Jackson dangling Prince Michael II off of a balcony in Berlin.
Oh, hold on. I don't think that should be... Oh, a bit of a sliding scale there, Rem. Child abuse aside, let's talk about some child abuse.
Oh, fuck.
Because, Remington, today, since we have been doing this show for well over 3 years and 151 episodes, I figured it was finally time to do something that has been requested so much, yet I don't know why entirely.
Oh, fuck.
Remington, it's time to return to the big 3.
Oh, no, Shonen, no. Old Shonen.
I mean, 2002 is not that old.
Hey, wait, so 2002, let me think. So I still have never figured out exactly what the big 3 are, right? I don't think. Have you ever told me? I don't know.
You have figured it out multiple times, but every time we bring it up, you always forget.
All right, Dragon Ball, big 3. Wait, no, Dragon Ball was not in the big 3 and I was outraged. Wait, all right, so 2002. The only thing that makes sense. Wait, oh, fuck, they both sort of make sense. So it's gonna be One Piece or Naruto.
Hey, there you go. But the question is...
It's one of those two. I don't know which one. I don't know which one came out in 2002. I want to say Naruto, because I want to say One Piece would be older, because it has a fucking billion going on. It's existed since the dawn of mankind and will continue until the heat death of the universe. So I'm going to say Naruto. Are we doing Naruto?
We are doing Naruto, Remington.
Oh, son of a bitch. Okay. All right. So something that's been referenced on the podcast a few times, and especially if you are a patriot, if
you're a goddamn American.
Goddamn. Something that's been mentioned on this podcast a few times, and especially if you are a patron on our Patreon, then you will have heard many times how I am a Sasuke. We've taken many quizzes on BuzzFeed, and all of them say I am a Sasuke. Every single one, and I don't think that's accurate. I disagree. But it has been established a billion times over, I am goddamn Sasuke, and it hurts me. It hurts me deeply, Sean.
Which is why I thought for 151 episodes, we should celebrate by seeing just how closely you are to your anime alter ego, as it were.
Oh, God. All right. So, Naruto story all about a little orange jumpsuit ninja. He wants to be the best ninja in the world. He wants to be Hokage? Hokage.
Yes.
This is like stream of consciousness from like 9-year-old Remington, right? So Naruto wants to be Hokage. He really wants to bang Sakura, who is a pink-haired girl with not much of a personality. Very bland Sakura.
And useless.
You have edgelord Sasuke, who's the cool one. Sakura's into him because he's the cool one. You have a bunch of other side characters who sometimes matter or sometimes don't. Like 90% of the time, they'll be useless comedic relief, but then you'll have one episode where suddenly they're fucking god tier and they're actually like, oh, but I did this, so now I am super strong. You have the teacher with a wrapped face, Kyoshi, no, not Kyoshi, not Avatar Kyoshi. You have Kayashi? Kai
Oh, you're so close.
Katashi?
Ooh.
That's the closest I'm gonna get.
Kakashi.
Kakashi! Alright, you have Kakashi. And so initially it's all about like go to ninja school, become a ninja. Meanwhile, there's this snake Voldemort looking motherfucker. He's Orochimaru. He's gonna fuck shit up. He's the big bad. And Naruto has been cursed with the fox with 9 tails curse, so he can get spooky eyes. Sasuke also gets spooky eyes later, but different spooky eyes.
I don't think you can call them spooky eyes. I feel like that's a little
spooky weeby shonen eyes. I don't know. I think I nailed that, considering I have not engaged with Naruto media since I was around 9.
Yeah. Just for frame of reference, One Piece was 1999 was the anime, and Bleach.
I appreciate this history lesson, but I need validation that I nailed that, Sean.
Your validation is you said that Orochimaru is the big bad, and you're very wrong, but that's okay.
What? What are you talking?
I mean, he is for a little bit, but it's a shonen, man. You move on.
Okay, I'm talking about first arc. Everything changes.
Oh, not even in the first arc, no.
What are you talking? What are you? Fuck you. Yes, he is.
He doesn't show up till like, what is it, the third arc? I think. Second or third, one of the two.
But isn't he like big spooky in the background, like lurking? Like he doesn't become prominent, but he's there.
Well, I mean, what? Huh? Well, I mean, he. No.
If in any of the episodes I'm forced to watch, if a single one of them so much as mentions a snake-like motherfucker, then I'm gonna write it down and I'm gonna shove it in your face. That's all I'm looking for.
Then I have nothing to worry about.
Ah, shit! Alright, okay, alright.
But for your frame of reference, the One Piece anime came out 99, Bleach was 2003, if I remember correctly. So, you know, you could have guessed Bleach and been really close as well, but those were the big 3 of shonen.
It still blows my mind that Bleach was one of the big 3, because it just is not... It's not as iconic. It's big, it was popular, but it's not, like, Naruto or One Piece tier.
Well, that's because the author of Bleach... he kind of he suffered. I would say that Tite Kubo suffered the most from the weekly chapter release format, and he had a hard time keeping up with it to keep things interesting, unfortunately.
I've long maintained that the weekly shonen manga format bullshit, it's so detrimental.
Oh yeah, it's incredibly dated. Like, nowadays we have full seasons and such. We still get the weekly chapters, but those chapters are well thought out and written way in advance. And the ones that aren't, well, they get dropped from the magazine. There's a whole other podcast out there all about those dropped magazines. I think it's called Shonen Flop. Very interesting. Very good stuff.
Yeah.
Go check them out if you like. And but it can be very detrimental, but it can work for some series, like as is shown by a lot of the major successes. Like Naruto, I would say handled it pretty decently balance-wise, and One Piece. While One Piece is still ongoing, by the way, Remington.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah, we recently hit a chapter 1009.
Oh, fuck.
Yup. And for being a weekly series that's been going on for well over 20 years, it is still fantastic. Of the big 3, it's probably the only one that I could convince you to like. But we're not doing that one because I'm saving because I want to treat One Piece with kid gloves because it means a lot to me. Naruto,
don't worry, when we get to episode 1000, then we will.
By then, One Piece will at least be halfway done.
I'll tell you what. I'll make a promise right now. All right.
Okay.
If Anime Out of Context lasts till episode 1000 in another fucking decade, then we will do all of One Piece. All of it. In 15 years, when we hit episode 1000, which obviously will totally happen, we won't burn out at all. We will just do, for episode 1000, all of One Piece.
I'm holding you to that promise.
Oh, I am confident. That's one of the promises. I'm like, oh yeah, that's fine. You won't fucking hit 1000.
One of us will be dead by then, probably. Because we will have killed the other, most likely.
This will be real dark if the podcast ends because one of us dies.
Oh god, that'd be so dark.
Oh man. Especially like, can you imagine if there was actual murder? Like they'd be like, oh man, and we couldn't see the signs, and then you listen back to the podcast, I could kill you. Oh, we're gonna kill each other. Oh, this motherfucker, I just want you to die. Like it would be really dark.
And the twist is and we were both separately murdered for completely different reasons.
Yep. Anyway,
that'd be a story.
But Naruto.
But Naruto. Yeah, you basically had a good basic summary of it. A more put together summary, I would say, is 12 years ago, the village was attacked by the dreaded QB, or the nine-tailed fox, as we Americans call it, because QB, it wouldn't translate well, surely, because saying nine-tailed fox over and over again is a much better way of getting the point across.
I mean, QB sounds too cute. Little QB! It's your little cube friend.
It's spelled with a K-Y-U as well. K-Y-U-B-I, if I recall correctly. So, yeah, QB. Which basically just translates to nine tails, but hey.
Yeah.
And it was devastating the village hidden in the leaves, or Konoha. And shortly after that attack, the beast was vanished, sealed into the body of a young child, a young Naruto Uzumaki, who has grown up an orphan and shunned by all those who are alive to see the destruction rained by this monstrous creature, all knowing that he has this beast sealed within his body.
But boy, oh boy, does this cursed child love ramen.
Yes, he does. This is actually a cooking anime, Remington, funnily enough. We explore various ramen aspects.
I feel like you could probably edit like all of the footage in Naruto to make a genuine like cooking Naruto abridged.
It'll just be all the shots of them in the one ramen shop Naruto goes to.
I think you could make a Naruto abridged about the Naruto shop. The ramen shop.
Yeah, Ichiraku Ramen is the name of it.
I think you could do it. It'd be a neat little slice of life, I think.
And I don't know why I was able to pull the name of the ramen shop out of my hat just like that, but...
Yeah, who knows?
Look, okay, I think it's time to part the curtain a little bit, Rem. First of all, finishing the synopsis. Growing up with this being shunned by all these adults, he decides that he wants, attention and wants to be the greatest. So he acts out, he does pranks, and he claims that he's going to be the Hokage. That way everybody will know and respect him. Pretty ambitious thing to do. It's his
standard shonen fare.
Yeah.
I want to be the very best like no one ever was.
Yeah, just without catching them or any real test. Well, there is some test, but the test is mostly friendship. And that's the story, is him getting teamed up with Kakashi, Sakura, and Naruto. And Kakashi, Sakura, and Naruto. He gets teamed up with himself, mostly because Sasuke doesn't team up very well. With his team 7 or squad 7, or there's 7. That's what you want to know. And they go on various ninja missions, and the story progresses. His experiences as a ninja. Basic synopsis. And to part the curtain a little bit, in order to prepare for this episode, Remington, I did the unthinkable.
Oh?
I reread all 500 chapters of Naruto.
Fuck that shit. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Because fuck me if I'm going to watch the whole series like I do for a lot of my research, because no.
I will be honest, Sean. As much as I appreciate the effort you put in, I personally am less concerned about how much weeb bullshit you have to consume, and I'm much more concerned about how much weeb shit I have to consume.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
But just for a frame of reference, how much filler do you think there is in the Naruto anime?
It would be easier to answer the inverse. I think that if a standard season is 26 episodes, I think that you could fit everything that moves the main story further in 6 episodes. I think it could be condensed to that degree.
Oh man. You're not...
Which isn't saying, like, only 6 episodes matter. I'm sure, like, some details are spread out through some more episodes, but if you condensed everything that mattered for the overall story, 6 out of 26 is my ratio.
Well, here is some validation for you then. The original Naruto series ran from 2002 to 2007 and had 220 episodes, and 90 of them were filler, which is 41%.
That's a lot of filler.
It is a lot of filler.
And those are just like full episodes that are filler, I'm guessing from your description?
Yes.
So it's not talking about just like how much of the episodes that do matter then also have some filler.
Yes. And it doesn't count like mixed canon episodes.
What?
Oh, yeah. There's this thing in a lot of older shonen called mixed canon, where essentially, like in between filler arcs, there'll be little snippets of the canon story, or they will sometimes, the filler arcs will sometimes add things to the canon story. So that there is canon, but just with a little bit extra. Usually, sometimes it can be used very well to expand on like character personalities and character interactions, but most of the time it's just bad.
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing about that is that's just the original Naruto series. Naruto Shippuden, which is the, spoiler, there's a time skip later in the anime.
Oh, God.
It's a common shonen thing, and that time skip separates this series, and in that one, of 500 episodes...
Holy shit.
205 of them are filler.
Oh, keeping that 40% ratio.
Yep, 41% exactly. Give or take a couple decimals, but we don't, decimals are stupid. Actually, no decimals. Wait, it's 205. Yeah, no, 41%, we're good. Which means that there's 295 filler episodes in all of Naruto, which is a little over, 700 episodes. That's a big oof, my lad.
Yeah.
And just for your own frame of reference, Bleach is very similar in that. They actually had whole filler seasons, as does Naruto. Bleach, One Piece, which is my favorite of the big three, currently has 971 episodes of the anime.
Oh, God.
And only 99 filler episodes.
I would argue that 10% is still too much.
I would say so too, but for a weekly anime series that's been going on since 1999, a little filler here and there is fine as far as I'm concerned. But with that being said, Remington, Naruto itself is probably easily the most middling of the big three. Because Bleach, I would
say... Well, yeah, Bleach is the redhead stepchild.
Unfortunately.
It's there. It's happy to be in the big three.
Yeah.
And it should feel happy. Naruto is the most popular.
It's the one that...
Or at least
when people say that we watch anime, non-anime people are like, oh, so you like Naruto?
Yeah, it's like the most westernized.
Yes.
It's the biggest over here in the West. I don't know about in Japan. Who knows?
It's not.
But One Piece, I feel like it has the mix of it's beloved by weebs, pretty popular in the West, and probably the best, though I don't know, man.
It's not. One Piece is the best, and I will say that unabashedly.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying about One Piece, yeah.
Yeah, unabashedly. If we're talking manga alone, of course. Things get complicated when you bring the anime into the mix, which is why I'm hesitant to show you One Piece, because One Piece does suffer from a little bit of bad anime syndrome sometimes.
But Sean, here you are talking about, like, wow, look at the hundreds of episodes, look at all of this filler, blah, blah, blah. You're building up quite the monster that I'm having to tackle. But how much of the monster do I have to tackle?
I mean, there's there's only 720 episodes, Rem. Only that many.
How many of those am I watching, Sean?
Did you want a percentage or...
I swear to God, this son of a bitch.
Well, it is one of the big three, Remington.
Yeah, but it's all... You said yourself, Sean, 40% is filler, so whatever you're about to tell me, just cut 40% off that number. I think that's a great compromise, personally.
Okay, well, moment of truth, Remington. We have to delve into the big three, and who knows, we might have to do return episodes down the line. So with that in mind, Remington, it's time. You have to watch a whole 9 episodes of the first season of Naruto.
Okay. It's not the worst, not the best, not ideal, but...
This will essentially cover the opening arc, the meeting of Team 7, and their first major mission together to the Land of Mist. or excuse me, the Land of Waves. And leave with a little bit of a cliffhanger just in case you're interested in continuing.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
And with that, Remington, let's get into one of the biggest anime of all time. Let's go watch some Naruto.
Previously,
If Sean was smart, he would throw in, like, this is where we do Pokemon or some shit to, like, sort of justify why he's celebrating 151 instead of 150.
Damn, that would have been so good.
up next,
Naruto's like me, an asshole. Zabuzi, Zabuza.
now back to the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back after consuming 9 whole episodes of the amazingly super popular Naruto. And Rem, have you found your ninja way yet? Are you ready to go and try and become the Hokage yourself?
Well, I wish it was Shadow Clone rather than myself here, but you take what you can get.
Well, bad news for you, Remington. Once the Shadow Clone disappears, you actually get all of the memories of the Shadow Clone.
Oh, that's fucking bullshit, dude.
Yeah, no, that's a major plot point later on in the series. And why do I know that? Because, Rem, I have a confession, Rem.
Oh?
I don't know if I mentioned it in the first half, but if I did, it's been a week, so I have time. So they can forgive my forgetfulness. But in order to prepare for this episode...
Oh, yes, you read everything.
I read everything. So it's all fresh in my brain, and...
I will say, it brings up some very difficult philosophical questions, Shadow Clone Jutsu.
Yep.
Especially because they're all arguing with one another, and so they all have different selves, which is fascinating. It's definitely philosophically hairy. But unfortunately, we're not here to discuss the deep philosophy of Naruto, though I'd probably prefer it. We're just talking about the show, giving thoughts, etc. So,
Yeah.
womp womp. Sad trombone.
Well, hey, I mean, this is easily one of the most popular shonen anime of all time. It's still making bank, and even has a sequel series out right now.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yep. But the real question is what did you think of these first couple episodes? I was very specific in how many I showed you this time around. I figured this would be a good amount of character introduction mixed with a good look into what the world was like. You know, a decent amount of world building for the first couple episodes, as well as a good amount of an idea of what the show, you can expect from the show and the main characters.
Sure, and I think that, considering that this is the epitome of shonen trash, it's your standard action comedy fare, I was pleasantly surprised. It's no Avatar: The Last Airbender action comedy fare by any means,
It's hard to
but
compare.
it wasn't the worst thing ever. Was it great? No. Was it good? But was it bad? I don't think so. It's fine. It's fine.
What's this? A slightly positive review about one of the biggest shonen in history?
I was pleasant. I thought I would be dead after watching 9 episodes. I also should note, whereas normally we watch the subs, Crunchyroll was fucking up, so I just watched the dub on this one.
Oh,
it was
no.
just easier to find.
Oh, no.
It was easier to find, dude.
Oh, you're gonna believe it.
I'm gonna believe it, dude. Crunchyroll was having problems, which I feel like it's been happening more and more lately, at least to me. And so
Oh no, it's been happening to me too.
And so the next result was the dub, and I was like, all right, well, I guess we're doing this then.
Oh god, so you really were living your childhood then a little bit.
Yeah. But let's explore the show fully. These 9 episodes, which once you remove the filler ratio, it's like 5 episodes.
That's a little harsh. I mean, it is the first couple episodes of the series.
Literally, the second and the third episodes are filler, dude.
Well,
2 out of the first 3 episodes are filler.
Technically.
Granted, only one of them is like true filler. One of them tries to serve a purpose, but it's still pretty filler. It's like at least 1.5 filler episodes for the first 3.
I mean, technically they happen in the manga, so they are canon, but,
Yeah, but they don't matter.
Well,
Well, we'll get into it. I think that Naruto actually has a decent start, a decent first few scenes. We start with some exposition, because that's how we always need to do it with shonen, about the nine-tailed fox, etc. But then we have Naruto. He's running from a bunch of his ninja teachers after painting what essentially amounts to the ninja Mount Rushmore. He painted funny faces on them and silly marks. So they're all chasing. And it tells a lot about like who Naruto is, the culture, the setting. It's pretty decent start, I would say. The rest of the episode is hit or miss, but it's a fine start.
Yeah, you have a good idea of who this kid is and trying to figure out, hey, why is he like this? Well, it makes sense in the long, like there's good basis for why Naruto is the way Naruto is.
Unfortunately, what it adequately shows you within the first 2 minutes, it then spends the next 20 hammering you over the head with, often with blatant narration. So
I mean, blatant narration seems like a lot, Remington. I mean, it's not like they actually had a unseen narrator come in and tell you everything.
So, we see the ninja school. They're practicing, like, transformation and stuff. Naruto then has to clean Mount Rushmore. And we quickly get to, it's the final exam. Is Naruto gonna graduate to become a ninja proper, a little babby ninja? And he has to clone himself, and he fucks up big time. No siree, he fails. No ninja for you. He has a little heart-to-heart with a different ninja mentor. And that ninja mentor is like, hey, steal our very important village scroll. But as it turns out, it's because he wanted the scroll. Now, I don't know why he didn't just take it, because if Naruto could have just taken it, which happened off screen, by the way, then, like, wouldn't this more advanced ninja also be able to take it, but better, since he's just trying to get it?
Well, the main reason is he wanted Naruto to be a scapegoat so that he could get away with it scot-free, essentially. That and, you know, the background hatred of what is within Naruto could lend credit to him being a bad seed and stealing things is the idea. He probably could have stolen it better, but based on the way the power system works later down the line, he probably would have been caught if he had been the one, but he got caught anyway because he was a dumbass. Look, I understand his logic, but that doesn't mean that it was a great plan, you know?
Yeah. Naruto, he learns the Shadow Clone Jutsu from the big important scroll and masters it immediately, once again, off screen.
Yeah, wow.
A lot happens off screen in this episode. It's just like, oh, this happened. He gets caught by his main mentor, who I don't know his name. It doesn't matter.
I mean, it really actually does.
It doesn't, though. He's like around, but meh.
Iruka is his name, and you know, like his big brother father figure, you know. But
yeah,
hey.
one thing they really want to establish is that Iruka is very much like Naruto. Just like Naruto, he didn't have a family. He struggled to get by. He was shunned when he was younger. And they say that they bring this up and give a whole monologue about it like 4 times in this episode. It's a little bit obnoxious. And then they do straight up like flashbacks to what we saw earlier in the episode. Or just like what we've never seen, but it's all just, hey, I'm just like Naruto. I understand Naruto. He and I, we're peas in a pod, baby. We're just all the same dude. And then the villain, Mizuki, he's like, no, Naruto's like me, an asshole. And
That's not wrong, though, I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, they're both right. And I understand, like, this episode, it's trying to sort of get at, like, the duality. Who's Naruto really? But, like, one of them is just, this isn't, like, presenting the 2 sides of his character. It's just like, yeah, one of them is more correct. Okay. So I think it sort of falls flat.
But I'm just trying to say, Remington, that Iruka Sensei is a very important character. That's why he's completely active throughout the entirety of the series. And
he almost dies this episode, which would have been great.
Yeah, and he definitely plays a part in Naruto's greater growth as a whole.
Is it through his death?
No.
Is it through his death?
No, fuck no. Don't be ridiculous.
Okay.
Not Iruka.
Damn.
They'd never kill Iruka because he's such an important character.
So The most unnecessary plot armor. Long story short, they all end up fighting, running, fighting, etc. Naruto saves the day by doing shadow clone jutsu, and he gets to graduate to become a ninja because of it. Cool. Next episode, it's a filler episode.
It's not. Technically, it's not.
Dude. Okay. We have different definitions of filler. Your definition is if it is not in the manga, then it's filler. My definition is if it's fucking pointless. So, it's a pretty pointless episode 2. It's all about the Hokage, his grandson, and Naruto sort of teaches him, and both of them are like, we're gonna be Hokage, and that's the whole episode. I've told you everything about the episode. That's it.
I mean, Konohamaru plays a part later down the line too, Remington. You just
No, I'm sure he does.
Time.
No, but I've summarized everything that happened in the episode just now. You could have had that at the end of the last episode. Just they meet and it's like, hey. Or you could have had it as a B plot to any episode. But here's the thing. Naruto, no B plots. No B plots. No C plots. They will turn B plots and C plots just into episodes. That's the problem. Where you could have had these things going along with the main story. They're like, no, let's just do an entire episode on it. When it really doesn't deserve it. Also, don't teach like 6-year-olds sexy harem jutsu bullshit. I don't like that. 0 out of 10. Also, the Hokage, he has a big ol' crystal ball that he can use to see anybody at any time for no reason. There's all...
Yeah, that was a weird thing they added to the anime, actually. I don't know why they did that.
It's real weird. Which, also, let's talk about the setting for a hot minute.
Yep.
When is Naruto? because they don't have like cars, or maybe they have guns. There was one gun sound effect that happened.
No. There are no guns. Don't be ridiculous.
Okay, there was a gun sound
at
effect
this
when we get to
point
the
in
mob
time.
boss later.
In this point in time, there are no guns. There are later down the line, I think. Though I haven't read much of the sequel series, so I can't corroborate that.
Sure.
But
there are no like cars or anything. No. I'm gonna have an asterisk on this one. No electricity, but there are electronics. At one point they just have straight up headsets.
Yep.
Going on.
Yep.
They have to have printers because they have like modern magazines with photography printed out. Mm-hmm. So they have industrial high quality printers somewhere. When the fuck is Naruto, dude?
You see, Remington, that's a very good question, and nobody has an answer. Because, like, I tried...
Why'd they have to have headsets? It made no fucking sense.
Like...
Just be like, oh yeah, this is a messenger jutsu. You can fucking hear me now. Cool. You have a fucking crystal ball. What, just replace the crystal ball with the camera. It's 1984 now in this bitch. I don't understand what they're going for.
Well, here, let me just tell you right now, Remington, it gets even more confusing in the sequel series.
Fuck.
But, let me just put it to you this way, Rem. So, you know how there are 4 faces on the side of the mountain there?
Yeah.
Minor spoiler, but the 5th person that gets added, the 5th Hokage, her grandfather was the first Hokage.
What?
And
Wait,
if that's
what?
not confusing enough...
What?
By the way, spoilers for Naruto if you care, but it's like, it happens like halfway through the first like chunk of Naruto anyway, so it's not that important. But based on that timing, and I believe she's in her 60s, so about, 50 years ago, give or take, everything seemed to be very feudal Japan era, which doesn't quite track with the technology they have. And then
I don't understand.
And then about,
dude.
16 to 30 years in the future, there are trains, but still no cars. And
What the fuck is happening?
there's
What's the battery pack on the headset?
it's chakra batteries, Remington. That's what it is. I've just decided. They feed chakra into a device, and it stores that energy. Except that's not a plot point until the end of the beginning of Boruto. That's right. Oh, by the way, the sequel series is called Boruto.
I hate that so
Yeah, it's
much.
about Naruto's kid, Boruto.
That's what would happen if you were like, if just very suddenly you were like, Remington, name what the sequel to Naruto, and I'd be like, it's Baruto. And then you'd be like, no, Remington, but it actually is. That's just what they went with.
It is. Not the greatest choice, in my opinion, but hey, who knows? I haven't watched it. I hear it's decidedly okay, like the rest of Naruto. But things get way more... I know way too much about Naruto lore now, and I'm not sure how to feel about that as a person, as a human being. But to answer your question, Rem, when is Naruto? When Naruto's around. That's when Naruto. Then it's Boruto.
Oh, fuck. All right, so episode 3 is half filler. The goal of episode 3 is to introduce us to Sasuke and Sakura, right? That's the goal. Where they stretch out what could have been a 2 to 5 minute scene into an entire episode. They get put into squad together and they argue. Sakura loves Sasuke, Naruto loves Sakura. Sakura hates Naruto, Sasuke hates everybody. Okay. At the very end, Sakura gets ignored and has this really weird like life lesson moment where it's like, oh, is this how Naruto feels? Wow, suddenly I might care about him and not be a complete bitch to him all the time.
Except she does.
Except then she just continues. So like, what's the fucking point of that shit, dude?
That might also be another little anime insert. What you might call filler, I suppose you could say. I'm not gonna call it that. But I mean, there's a little something there.
It's rough. Episode 4. Episode 4 is a decent episode. It's a pretty decent episode. They get introduced to their squad leader, Kakashi.
Who is
right?
the coolest guy.
He is the coolest man around. Kakashi's like, all right, let's introduce ourselves. And the characters have introductions, and Sasuke's is like, I hate a lot of things, and I don't like a lot of things. That's me. It's like, oh, I fucking hate him, dude! I don't want to be the Sasuke!
I'm sorry, man, but 3 different quizzes. There's got to be something in it.
It's bullshit. So Kakashi is like, all right, so congrats, you're all ninjas. One final test, however, and if you guys fail, then you are no longer ninjas. Fuck you. So you need to get these bells from me. 2 bells, 3 of you. 1 of you is going to be out no matter what. Good luck, fuckers. And so all of them just have to work. And it's a very interesting idea with a really shit ending, right? So episode 4 and 5 are all about trying to get these fucking bells, right? And the basic story is that Sakura's useless, literally does nothing.
Yep.
Naruto is arrogant, and then Sasuke is arrogant but phrased slightly different.
Yep.
It's the exact same for both of them, but they try to phrase it a little bit different, where it's like, Naruto, you always try to do things only yourself. Sasuke, you think others are beneath you, so you try to do things all by yourself. Sakura, you can't do shit, so why are you here? She's so bad.
Oh, God. So, Rem, would you like to know one of the easiest way to piss off Naruto fans? It's by calling Sakura useless. And I say this because we've actually gotten several emails off of one offhand comment I made in an episode like a year back about joking about how, oh, Sakura's useless, which is the running joke, but also people who are big fans of Naruto hate that joke and start throwing all kinds of justifications as to why she's not useless. And I understand your justifications, and this is coming from someone who just recently read all 500 fucking chapters. But here's the thing, my dude. If it's supposed to be a 3 main character-centric story, all 3 characters have to have an equal part, and Sakura has basically no pull in the entire pre-time skip era, and in the post-time skip era, she has one important fight.
Genuinely, the ratio is probably like 55, 35, 10 for like how things are divvied up. 55 Naruto, he's the main character, makes sense. 35, good amount of Sasuke, all right, makes sense. 10% Sakura, and that's being generous thus far.
It is being very generous.
Because but there are times where both Sasuke and Naruto, multiple times where Sasuke and Naruto both try to get the bells from Kakashi. Sakura doesn't try a single time. there's one time she gets spooked by an illusion of bloody Sasuke, and that's literally the only thing she does the entire fucking time.
Yeah, no,
that's it.
Yeah,
that's all.
She gets caught in a genjutsu and then passes out, and that's it. Game over. GG. No re.
Like, there's nothing else for her in the... But who knows? Maybe later. Spoiler alert. Not later. Anyway, so they fail to get the bells, and Kakashi is like, you dumb motherfuckers, this is all about teamwork. I'm gonna give you a second chance. Hey, big hint. Teamwork, motherfuckers. Don't feed Naruto, but also teamwork, dumbasses. So... They feed Naruto, and that was the solution to the puzzle, because teamwork. It once again, very heavy-handed. They've gotten very heavy-handed with their morals and their life lessons at the end of these stories, and it's not working. But I like the general idea of the episode, so it gets a sure, why not?
Plus, Kakashi is cool, so it's fine.
It's true. So then we get episodes 6 through 9 are all the last little arc that we watched through.
Yep, the start of the arc of the Land of Waves, I suppose you could call it.
Yes.
I forget the exact name of the arc, but
Naruto is getting frustrated because him and his squad have just been given lame D-level assignments that's like babysitting and stuff.
Cat finding, the like.
Yeah, and they're like, I want a C rank. I want something dangerous. So they're like, all right, you can be bodyguards for this drunk bridge builder. Cool. But it shouldn't be just a C rank. It should be higher because this guy's being hunted by assassin ninjas. So they show up, ambush. Kakashi stops them pretty easily.
Yeah.
Naruto, he got stabbed by like a poison claw on his hand. So it's like, oh man, we have to go help him out. And to remove the poison...
Yeah.
He stabs himself in the hand.
Hey, man. Poison goes in, blood comes out. It makes perfect sense.
Oh, dude, and Naruto playing the role of George Washington. If we bleed him enough, he'll feel better, I swear. Fortunately, because of like 9 Fox bullshit, he heals anyway. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
So they go. We get introduced to Gato, the mob boss. He's a mob boss, but he's short. Haha. This is where, like, when introducing this mob boss who wants to kill the bridge builder, this is where there was a literal gunfire sound effect.
Yeah, that feels like an anime added thing.
I assume so.
I mean, they have explosives, but not guns exactly.
It's real weird, dude. It's
they have pieces of paper that just can explode with the weight of a stick of dynamite. So I don't know, man. It's all a little mixed.
Anyway, so super assassin with a big sword. He shows up and he's like, I'm the best mist assassin fucking ever. And Kakashi is like, yeah, but I have a weebai. And it's like, he unleashed the weebai. And you weeps know what the weebai means. It means shit's about to go down.
Yep, that would be Zabuza, by the way.
Good old Zabuza. Zabuza. All right. And just, not even good.
Nope.
So they fight. And Kakashi's really good at matching everything that he does. So then they keep fighting. Eventually Kakashi gets caught in water. It's like, fuck. What are they gonna do now?
Okay, you can't just say that he's caught in water. You have to...
He's caught in water.
Yeah, no.
He's caught in a water orb.
Yeah, see, like, 'cause the way you made it sound is like, oh man, he stepped in a puddle. What a shame. Can't fight anymore.
Okay, let me specify. It's water that is as hard as concrete, but not ice, just water.
It's some thick water.
And he can breathe in it. Don't worry about it. Shut the fuck up. Should he be drowning and dead very soon?
Did they not emphasize that in the dub?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because he definitely can't breathe in that sphere.
But he's just talking and yelling.
Is he?
Yes!
Oh, God.
So much! He's like, hey guys, you really should be running right now. Y'all is fucked.
Well,
you leave me to die.
Yeah, nope, that definitely sounds like more anime added stuff. By the way, if you couldn't tell, I did all of my research by reading 500 chapters of the manga, so excuse me.
Yeah, no, he's just chatting up a storm in this water, dude. He doesn't give a shit.
God damn it, early 2000s shonen.
So, Eventually, there's a convoluted plan by Naruto and Sasuke, not Sakura. Sakura does nothing in this fight.
She stands in front of the bridge builder holding a kunai.
She does that for a minute. Yep. So Naruto and Sasuke have a plan. They save Kakashi. They end up beating Zabuza. And then another mist kid assassin shows up and finishes them off and is like, cool. And that was all 4 episodes, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I think you got it, man. That was a pretty solid summary. It's almost like,
So once again, interestingly, so those 4 episodes, right? Mm-hmm. It would be difficult to describe any one of them as pure filler because there's things move forward in each and every one. But you could have condensed those 4 episodes into, I'll give them 2. I'll say they could have cut it in half, all right? You could have cut it into 1, maybe you would have lost some stuff, so I'll give them 2 episodes they could have cut it all into. I should also be noted, Zabuza, he has like this gigantic sword that I mentioned.
Yep.
It's just aesthetic. Purely aesthetic, never used. Well, used-ish, kind of once, for him to stand on.
Well, I mean, he does swing it around a bit.
He does swing it around
It very
a bit.
quickly became a jutsu off with Kakashi, because that's Kakashi do. That's how he do.
Yep. And while he could have at any time easily killed the guy he was trying to kill, like, they tried to explain it away with, like, Kakashi being like, oh, he's going to attack me first. But, like, Kakashi saying that doesn't mean that that is the rational thing to do. The assassin is here to kill the bridge builder, and we've seen how they show it. This motherfucker can show up right behind you, murk you instantaneously, right? So, when they defend the bridge builder, they defend only his front, leaving behind him where the assassin shows up completely vulnerable. The assassin, he is there to kill the bridge builder. That is his express purpose. He can do so. But no, because Kakashi said, oh, he's gonna try and attack me first. Apparently that's law now.
Yeah, don't you know that you're supposed to fight the strongest person first?
You know, especially like you start a fight with someone, but then their friend is like, oh, he has to attack me first though, bro. You're safe. And you're like, shit, now I have to. There's no other option, unfortunately.
Hilariously, you bringing up the condensing it to 2 episodes thing. A fun fact, remember when I told you about mixed canon or mixed filler episodes?
Yeah.
So 7 and 9 are generally considered by a lot of people to be mixed filler episodes because there's a lot of shit they added in both those, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that, one sec. So first episode, you can, I'll let the first episode stay as is, right? Right now I'm just cutting, how much could these 9 episodes be cut? First episode, I'm going to be charitable. I'm going to give them the whole first episode.
How generous.
All right. Second episode, I'm giving them 2 minutes of that episode. Third episode, I'm giving them an extended scene or a couple of scenes of 8 minutes.
Ooh.
So right now, we have 1.5 episodes.
That's pretty generous, man. Wow.
For episodes 4 and 5, I'll only cut a little bit, and I will allow another 1.5, so that leaves us 3 episodes. 3 out of 5 so far.
Okay.
Then 6 through 9, I already said, I'm going to cut that in half. So we have 2. So that's 5 out of 9. That's how much, that's the content ratio we're going with, which, you know, about 40% was cut out. So
Interesting. 40%, huh? You know what that number directly correlates to?
Yeah, what a coincidence.
It directly correlates to the amount of filler in Naruto. Huh. I think you're onto something, Rem.
I think this show, it's all right. It has a decent aesthetic, decent ideas. The comedy so far has been really bad. There's not been any moment where I have found genuinely humorous, even a little bit.
I mean, that's...
It's mostly like, oh, look at him be pervy. Oh, poop joke. And like, that's it. Which is not enough for me.
So you're telling me...
It's not doing it for me, dude.
Hold on, Remington. Are you telling me that the sexy jutsu doesn't make you chuckle a little bit?
Not in the least, dude.
Not even the reverse sexy jutsu. Did they show that one in those episodes? I honestly can't remember.
No, we didn't get to the reverse sexy jutsu, though I vaguely remember it.
It happens, don't worry. Because, you gotta be equal opportunity with your sexy jutsu.
Oh, but of course.
Now that you've come back to the show after God knows how many years, at least a decade, I think it's been for you. Were you impressed? Were you disappointed? What do you feel coming out of Naruto after seeing it for the first time in that long?
I genuinely thought it would be a lot worse.
Yeah?
Was it good? I don't think I'd go that far. But is it okay? Is it tolerable to watch? Sure. I didn't hate myself after watching it, which is better than most shonen that we cover. So it gets the most lukewarm success I can muster for it.
Huh. Funnily enough, that's how most people feel, like most critical people feel about Naruto when it comes to talking about the original Big Three.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because, I think I told you in the beginning, it goes in order of general, enjoyment and affection and love that has stayed consistent throughout the years. It goes Bleach at the bottom, Naruto, so dead center in the middle, and then One Piece at the high top with a huge majority of people tending to enjoy it with some very specific detractors. Which
right now, yeah, I'd say Naruto. Bleach is the worst one. It just, I don't think Bleach has a lot going on for it. It's there to round out the three.
That's gonna make the 12 Bleach fans really angry, Remington.
There are dozens of us.
And I have a lot of good things to say about Bleach, but based on what we covered in Bleach, yeah, I can understand exactly where you're coming from. But I don't disagree with your ranking at all.
Yep. And then One Piece I have more hope for. But who knows?
It's gonna be a bit of a trip for me to set that one up for you.
See you guys on episode 1000 when we cover all of it.
Oh God, that if only I had the patience for, what is that, 25 years down the line or something? 15?
I don't know, dude. We'd have to be consistent. One sec. All right, so right now we're at
151.
150, right? So let's assume for a moment that we are consistent. Completely consistent every single fucking week.
Yep. Death, taxes, and anime out of context. Those are the three truths in life.
Then, it would only take about 16 years. A little over 16 years.
Okay.
Y'all.
I think that's doable. By then, One Piece might be halfway done. I might have already made that joke.
So in 16 years, when we're obviously just still doing this, because what else would we have to do with our lives? Then we will cover all of One Piece, and it'll be a good time.
Or I might just give you a chunk of it to cover sooner. Who knows? It depends on what people want, really. Because as someone who's reading the manga, I'm very excited about it right now. But hey, that's just me, and you know me. I like my shonen. I can't help it. But overall, honestly, this is probably the best review Naruto could have hoped to, blah, 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 words. Honestly, this is the best review Naruto could have possibly gotten from you, I think, Remington.
It's true.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I was an evil man, much more evil than I am, and we did a lot of follow-up episodes on Naruto, which we'll probably do at some point, once the content well runs dry and we have to really dig deep into these super long shonens to scrape out a decent amount of content. The really main thing to do would be to force you to watch the filler episodes. I would never do that to you, Remington, because most of them are the worst thing on the face of the planet. So
yeah, that sounds about right.
So take faith, Remington, that the next time we cover Naruto, you won't have to watch pure filler. You'll just have to watch a bunch of mixed filler, because it's really hard to separate those because it's so goddamn muddy. Naruto is the muddiest of the big three shonen, I will say that. Because at least Bleach's filler was separated by whole seasons that were completely forgotten about in the following season. Fucking bounce arc. Jesus Christ, that was a disaster. But with that being said, Remington, any final thoughts on Naruto, or is it just so lukewarm and middling that there's not much else to say?
No, I think I've summed it up pretty well by now.
Okay, well, what was your favorite jutsu that you saw, Remington? Do you have a favorite? Is there going to be one that you're going to be practicing in the wee hours of the night, hoping that you'll succeed?
I really liked when he was a puddle.
This just in, Rem really wants somebody to step in him. And before we get out of here, I'm curious to see what you would guess the first chunk of Naruto is rated on Mal. What do you think is the final rating on that?
All right, so it became iconic, but then I think a lot of weebs turned real hipster about it as it became super westernized, right? I wouldn't be surprised if there were weebs out there who were like, everyone only knows the dub, but the sub, it's a whole 1.5 stars. Like bullshit like that, in that vein.
So the kind of people that would defend Sakura.
Yes, I'm saying for the weird Sakura worshippers, I'm gonna say pretty in the middle. I'm gonna say like 7.5.
Really? That low, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah.
So this is probably has one of the highest interactions of any show we've covered.
Yeah.
It's got with 1.28 million ratings.
Whoo!
Naruto is sitting very prettily at 7.92.
Hey, okay. I get
Yeah,
it.
and that's with, 220 episodes and 40% of it being filler. So honestly, that's way better than I would have given it.
Yeah.
Because, I'm with you, Rem. It's passable, and it has some good moments and some cool ideas, but it is very surface level, Naruto. Much like those puddles, they don't go too deep.
Yep.
But with that, Remington, I guess the real final question I have to ask you is, any chance you'd want to sit down and watch some more Naruto with me, provided I cut out most of the filler?
I don't know, man, if it was already on.
Just on the background at the local sports pub, you got football, basketball, baseball, and then in one corner it's showing reruns of Naruto.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, thank you all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. If you enjoyed us delving into the deep, dark past of the early 2000s, then please head on over to whatever podcasting platform you listen to us on and drop us a review, whether that be Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify. It really means a lot to us, and we do, in fact, read every single one. And if you'd like to support us even more directly, we also have a Patreon, patreon.com/animeoutofcontext, where you can gain access to all kinds of lovely bonus content, including having the opportunity to have Rem read out your name and or sentence on the podcast, because apparently people just want us to say strange things at this point, and honestly, I'm both for it and against it, and it's that kind of conflict I need in my life, because otherwise the only conflict I get is with Remington. So, Remington, who are we thanking this week?
Well, of course, I would like to send our regards to all of our bland bitch protagonists, as well as our magical girls, who we really appreciate. And I would also like to note, I mentioned we passed a milestone on the Patreon, so I will be ranking all Pokemon based on fuckability. If you are a normal listener, then it has, I think, already occurred. So you can find that on twitch.tv/animeoutofcontext as a VOD, and maybe it's also on YouTube, Anime Out of Context. I don't know. Figure it out. We'll figure it out by next week.
Well, we'll put a link in the description if we get it done by that point. Or we might add one.
It should be done. It will be It hasn't happened yet, but it hasn't happened at the time of recording. But it should have happened by the time of uploading. So it's in this span of time.
This episode's coming out this Saturday, Remington.
I know, yeah. And this Saturday is when... Don't worry about it. We have the logistics all under control, dude.
I don't know. As someone who is...
Moving on.
Promises
to
and all.
our yandere waifus, who are captivating us with all of their harem jutsu. We have... working on the first chapter of the Anime Out of Context webcomic. Oh boy. Weebs are as plentiful as grains of sand, but there's only one Remington-sama. Juliana, totally God. The world shall know propane. That guy that makes you say cunt on your podcast. Snap Snips. Sean Oni-chan Baka Uwu. Seon Evangelion is trash, get over it. Scoopy Loopy Boopy Doopy Hoopy Goopy Oopy. Sarah Birch. Sammy Pritchard. Salty Pretzel. Sequoia Faye. Reverse Gizmo. Remington Merrill. Remington is not a man of culture, Foxen Boy. Redneck Weeb, ready to be isekai'd. Pepperoni, you know the pepperoni. The no one. I always order the domino, the pepperoni without pepperoni.
God, they're adding more work for me to do in our fucking Hololive bonus episode. My God.
Oh God, every time I feel like I have a stroke when doing this, I just should assume HoloLive.
Yeah, VTubers in
Sean,
general. It's
if
a
you
safe bet.
needed Aerogay suggestions, you should have said so. Week 1, Haramase Simulator.
Oh no! Wait a minute. People are gonna. Oh no!
That's for Sean, not for any of the listeners. Mahu no Pug Tears, Lonely Geek 23, Kitty, Kazu Morocco, Juan Horitos, Jax, Jacob Livingston, Jack of Spades, Introduction of a Name Parodist, Ichigo Simp 015, H-Wood, Hanekawa, Glenn Michael Dolan, Ghostly Bishi, Sean Rapping Christmas Carol is My Religion and Antidepressants, Farmer Weebs wants a Joey Wheeler, Ara Ara, Erica P, Do You Think Trayson Collects Anime, Devin McCutcheon, definitely not Frodo is happy that Mel is now on the subreddit, just thought I'd say also I'm not him, oh boy.
We're getting into deep meta shit right now, and don't worry, I didn't figure you were him. I just understood the references. That's all.
What?
More
Dark
HoloLive stuff.
Pikachu,
Don't worry about it.
Dark Sorb 713, Danny Morbido, Christian Crawford, Cheese Monkey, Captain Classmater, Brent Adams, being funnier than Sean and Rem. Week 4, where do elephants keep their luggage? In their trunks. Oh, it hurts because it's true. Ariel Bird, Apostle of the Church of Remington, Anime Duck, Andrew Sinclair, Andrew Rauke, Elise Howard, and Alexander Naciencenyo. Thank absolutely every single one of you. You all are fantastic. But yet there is still more when we reach the Boy Wizard tier. Moving on to Hogwarts. And this week, everyone is going to get their own lovely song by Harry and the Potters.
Are
The
they
Brown
still
Mamba.
around?
Yes, they released Lumos in 2019.
Okay. To be fair, yeah.
you-
that feels like a decade ago.
The Brown Mamba, you are going to get My Teacher is a Werewolf. Spicy Log Horizon is one of the best written isekai. Use the BS rule hot take. You are going to get The Banality of Evil. Rare Nyan Patsu, please watch Non Non Biori Kumiko. You are going to get Problem Solving Skills with a Z. Pilkster the Symphogear Advocate. You're going to get Where's Ron? MT the Poet. You're going to get This Book is So Awesome. Miguel
didn't
Deleon,
age well.
Miguel Deleon, you're going to get Hermione's Army. I Live in Ogden, yes, that one. You're going to get The Firebolt. I Call Bone Drew Daddy, you are going to get You're Not the Wizard. Hinata is a Ball of Sunshine. You're going to get A Song for Death Eaters. Enrique Perez Torres, you are going to get Platform 9 3/4. And last but not least, Dedicated Sadist, you are getting The Dark Lord Lament.
I mean, some of these song titles write themselves.
It's true. We move on. Finally, the peak of the mountain, the Chevano Musco Corian, the House White House tier. On that list, we have Zachary Shirley was referencing what you thought I was referencing, and I subscribed. Everyone's gonna get their own ninjutsu technique.
Careful you don't spoil
according to
yourself
this
for future
list.
episodes, Remington. We don't wanna get too deep.
Oh
into
yes,
a
I hope
20-year-old
not.
show.
For example, Zachary, he's surely going to get summoning food cart destroyer technique.
Sorry, what? That sounds like some filler jutsu
Food
if
cart?
I've ever heard it.
Food cart destroyer technique. I have nothing else to say. Uncreative Cretin, you are going to get wind release toad oil bullet.
Okay, that's a real one.
Silken Spectre, you are going to get you're congratulations, you get the harem jutsu.
Oh no, the
and
food cart destroyer one is one. That's just an interesting. Oh, that's the direct translation, huh? Okay, cool.
And my dear old mom, she is going to get Wisdom Wolf Decay.
Wisdom Wolf Decay.
Dude, I don't have the answers here. I have a list that I cannot interpret.
It tells you a lot when I probably would recognize the Japanese names better than I do the English ones.
Nonetheless, thank you all so much. If you'd like to reach out to us, whether it's for a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation, you can tweet us at AnimeConPod on Twitter, or send an email over onto animeoutofcontext@gmail.com.
Once again, guys, thank you all so much for watching, and as always, don't fuck your sister. How much horse pussy do you think there is in the Naruto anime? Let's talk about some child abuse. I'm saying you should punch children. Let's get started in 3. Oh, if I don't. Oh, that was a good one. There we go.
Oh my god.
Felt like a demon escaped my body there. Hold on. Okay, let's try that again. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1, mark.